Clark wanted to have a Christmas party, and I thought, well, let's do some kind of image, some kind of invitation.
Our motto has always been, hey, we're not sending out fruit baskets.
It's a tradition that I think a lot of the Red Ryder team, their clients, their partners, they look forward to each year.
Santa Day is my favorite day. My followers look forward to it every year. They always want to see what new creative Santa Claus we're theming up.
We kind of put this together as a celebration and as a thank you.
Said, Clark, come out in the front of the building and do a fun pose, some funny pose. And from then on out, it got better and better and better.
If you think about Christmas before 2002, you didn't really know when it was. I mean, it wasn't a huge thing. Was it July? Was it? You didn't know.
You know, Jossie deserves an enormous amount of credit because she takes this medium, which in itself is very nice. I think we can all agree with that.
For the most part, we've had to restyle it every year to make it shorter, longer, fluffier, more joyful, more sleek, more sexy. So that's been a fun challenge every year, just to kind of figure out what personality does Santa's beard have.
So we had many years just fun, silly Santa Clauses doing, you know, everything from being on the cover of Rolling Stones to Time magazine, the election time where Obama was running. Those were great years. And then we knew we wanted to raise the level, raise the bar. And so we found this awesome illustrator named Brian Niven, and we had him come in and help us and composite these super cool images. We come up with these ideas. The first one was the Santa lineup. Choose your holiday party wisely.
When I first applied, I noticed that they still had a Christmas banner on their website. It showed various famous characters waiting in line to go to a big party, including Spider-Man. And I thought, wow, these guys must really be into Christmas to have a Christmas-themed website. And this party must be really exclusive if even Spider-Man can't get in.
It was a smash hit. We loved it. It was a brutal, brutal shoot for Clark, but his sacrifice paid off.
I used to give Clark a hard time about how anxious and worked up he would get after some of the shoots.
Through it all, I am like a summer breeze.
Everyone thinks these shoots are just a whole lot of fun, but to be honest, I think everyone can get a little cranky, Clark especially.
Does Clark get ornery during these shoots? No, se pierde la mente.
Can Clark get cranky?
One might say he was a bit of a buttball toward the end.
Until one year, I got roped in to being a part of one of the shoots.
Finally, someone was going to share my pain.
When Mrs. Claus came into the picture, that was Christmas.
So they put her in red fishnet stockings and shorts, which I thought was perfect. I thought it was fine.
I had to sit back and put my legs around a garbage can in kind of a irreverent position for a long, long period of time.
This fan is literally blowing her off the back of the chair, and she is being such a good sport about it. But I have always got just tremendous support now and sympathy when I come home and say, man, I'm about spent.
We had this idea of having the party at Malawi's, and it was an African theme. Well, what better way to set this up than put Santa on an elephant? Brian helped us composite that image from the elephant to Santa sitting on a soap dish. It looks like, you know, a platform, but it's really a soap dish from Target. His toy bag is a handbag.
Every year we printed the posters for Red Ryder. And it's hard to choose a favorite because they were all so unique, but probably the one I like best would be when they rebranded.
One of my favorite years was one of the first ones that we had. It was the lumbersexual.
My favorite has to be the lumbersexual. I mean, looking at me, I kind of fit that mold. So, you know, anything with sex in it, I'm on board.
I wouldn't say I have a total favorite year, but I did bring a little memorabilia. This hat made a really big impression on our lumbersexual Santa.
Guys that dress so tough but probably couldn't even change a tire.
That was a fun project because we wanted this kind of rugged, hand-drawn feel. So I got to actually bring out pen and paper and really sketch by hand.
One of the things I look forward to with the Christmas Bash is the gifts you're going to get when you go to Red Ryder. And we got a, pardon me, miss, my eyes are up here.
The day of the party is really cool. You know, it's kind of hectic. We're running around, you know, doing last-minute decorations, getting the clients' gifts ready.
Being in our old building where we first started out and packing in our own crock pots.
Back to the staples of the little weenies, the meatballs, and social intercourse.
Okay, you know what you do? You buy yourself a tape recorder, you just record yourself for a whole day. I think you're going to be surprised at some of your phrasing.
Butterscotch! Wanna lick?
Sorry, okay.
I've loved those parties over the years. They've become a huge part of our sort of holiday tradition.
They have done a lot of great work for us, and every year I look forward to coming to the Christmas party. And this year, I think it's going to be sad for all of us because we're not going to be able to attend, and what made this year so special for me is Clark was going to take off his shirt and show everybody his scar.
It's just one of those things, and it's the price of killer creative. That's what it is, and we have such a good time doing it.
The year I produced their social Santa campaign was such a blast. I think we did like 6 videos in that series. I think my favorite one was probably like the mean tweets.
Santa, get real. There's no way your fat white ass is fitting down my chimney. At Nutcracker. You can guarantee it's not now, Nutcracker.
So we decided to do a tasty video for our Santa Go Social because he was doing all the social challenges. And we thought, okay, what would Santa put on a sandwich? And we started out with the classics, so with our cheese and our mustard and all of that. And then we started getting a little crazy and we added some cookies. And of course, Santa can't just have one cookie. He has to have 3 kinds of cookies.
When Clark danced the TZ Anthem Challenge.
And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, Clark, you can dig that. You can knock that out. I bet you're a dancing fool.
The greatest part of it was Kylie was dancing the part where he would look at her and follow her to the beat.
I remember asking Clark, like, okay, do you want me to like teach it to you, the choreography? And he's like, no, you just do it and then I'll copy what you're doing. And so we're standing out there in the parking lot just doing our little dance. So
she had the groove and I was trying to get the groove. I don't know whether I ever got it, but it was a gas trying to put that together.
I remember when we were filming Santa Goes Social, I was an elf trying to help Santa figure out Snapchat. And I remember before we started filming, we were having a rough time actually figuring out how the Snapchat was working. It was doing something weird with the beard, and then I remember thinking, why haven't we been filming this whole time? Because this is real and this is what we were looking for.
Is there snapping? Are we chatting? Are we Snapchatting?
Stick your tongue out. Oh.
Damn it!
The mannequin challenge, that was one of the big social challenges that was popular at the time. And it was just where you had a whole room of people and you all just froze and you couldn't move. You didn't like move your eyes. You didn't move at all. And someone just took a camera around and just like filmed it.
Kirk found a rubber reindeer head and went around wearing it in various videos and doing silly things around the office as well. As we were coming up with t-shirt designs that year, we decided that we wanted a t-shirt based on Kirk and the rubber reindeer head. So I started drawing some concepts of shoulders and up of the reindeer face and in his little sweater. And we were kind of like, this is a silly, awkward character, but it ended up being the most popular shirt we've had at the parties.
It turned out awesome. We had this giant throne that Santa could sit in that you'd see in the mall at Christmas time. And him sitting there with his elves. He was going social, so he was highlighting the food he made that day or the food he was eating, the new kicks he had, the new shoes he had, and of course just a duck-lipped shot for his social feed.
I remember particularly when we were doing Santa Gets Fit for the holidays, and I did not have enough weight on my svelte frame, so we had to bring in a fat suit. And it was marginal, but we did bring in the fat suit.
Sometimes this job, and especially these shoots, really pushes pushes us, maybe specifically me, out of my comfort zone a little bit, you know.
Wait a second, where's the belly? Oh, it's the hangover piece. I just have breasts now.
We've got times where we've got Clark in a sauna and we've got to film him with a towel. Or we've got Kirk making his comments about wanting to get Clark in a tube top.
Holy cow, I look like fat bastard.
Yeah, so we shot at my folks' condo in Salt Lake. You know, new job, new boss, and my parents walk in and Clark's wearing a fat suit with some white Spanx and doing the Tom Cruise across the floor. What's that? Risky business? Risky business, yeah. Yeah, that's how my boss met my parents, was in whitey tighties.
What we didn't understand is when I started putting on the fat suit and you get the human hair makeup and getting all of that stuff on, there's just no way you want to take that stuff on and off. But the fat suit was one piece. I stepped in and I was locked in.
Clark was always the best sport because he was the one sweating it out, running it out.
I'd have him, you know, run from this side to this side and run this side. Sometimes I didn't even turn the camera on. I just had him run.
Faster! Faster!
We tried to feed him, we tried to soothe him, but at the end of the day, he was a little cranky.
I tried to get him hit by a car.
Sandy, run!
We started out with me running on the sidewalk, and the team was following or was leading in the truck to shoot it as we went up there. And every time I just think, no, Santa would not be running on the sidewalk. This is dumb. Santa needs to be in the middle of the road. Anyway, after listening to me nag about this, the team finally said, okay, we'll do it up the road. And we had a drone in the air, and we had the truck, we had to dodge traffic. And I said, you know what, guys? Everyone will stop for Santa Claus. They will stop for Santa Claus. And so we took off, and I go blowing up this hill as fast as I can in this fat suit and everything. And my goal is to run all the way to the steps of the Capitol. I got up to the top after like my second run, and I collapsed. When I sat up after being laying down on the top of the Capitol steps, I looked down, and the highway patrolman had the team pulled over and telling them that we could not have a drone in the air, and what we were doing was not a good thing there at the Capitol. But because it was Santa Claus, he let us go.
You think the flatulence noise would be dubbed in, but it wasn't.
I went 8 hours that day without ever going to the restroom.
And we said, Clark, now. And it just popped out.
I don't think he was allowed to eat lunch.
Clark was pretending to hit a ball, and so we animated a ball into that scene and added like the sound effects, so it just felt like he was really playing ping pong. I think the thing that I love about that video more than anything is when I show it to people, they're always amazed that Clark is so good at ping pong. And I never want to tell them. I never want to tell them that it's fake. I'm like, yeah, he actually is that good. Like, he can hit it underneath his leg and it's no problem for him.
We're out on the tennis court and Clark's just hitting those tennis balls. One of them I placed just right and I might have hit him.
Oh, wait, stop. You...
That shoot, I was 8 months pregnant, and we filmed much of it outside in the freezing cold. Santa was particularly sweaty that year because getting fit, so we had a really fun time trying to keep the beard on that year.
Frankly, I was a pimped out Santa with the top down on this beautiful gold Coupe de Ville that ran probably a good 35 to 40% of what it should.
So my favorite one is Mr. Claus, where he's down in Vegas and he gets out of the car and he squashes the candy cane like a cigarette.
I thought that was brilliant.
You wouldn't think that it would be that hard with 4 or 5 hands trying to get all the balls to go in the holes, but it's actually a lot harder than it looks.
Corner pocket, sucker.
Those Santa videos every year in that invitation, they're actually like the crack cocaine of creativity. It just, you see what Red Ryder can do, you see the talent, and yeah, we love getting those videos.
Usually how it works is I'll come up with some ideas, and Clark and Kirk will shoot them down, and then I'll come back with some more ideas, and then Clark and Kirk will shoot them down.
Crack cocaine of creativity.
I didn't know that crack cocaine was coming into to that.
It just came out.
This is the first year we had taken production out of state. So we were on the road to go to Vegas to shoot Mr. Claus.
Vegas is probably my favorite year, the exploitation film, but it's also my least favorite because everything that could go wrong went wrong on that shoot. That Coupe de Ville, it's pretty, but that thing is a hunk of crap.
We were on the strip, you know how busy it is. It's the engine's starting to die. It feels like the alternator's like not giving it enough juice, and it's just hanging on.
And I'm driving down there, and we're literally maneuvering the traffic on the strip.
I look at my phone and it says Clark on it, and I'm, well, why the hell is Clark calling me at 10:30 at night in Vegas? So I'm thinking we're gonna go do something wild, but no, he needs me to wake my kids up, drive down to the strip, and hop in a Cadillac with him. I don't know what this man's obsession is with Santa.
If you look around here, this is just, I mean, it just keeps going. I mean, he built his reputation. He built an advertising firm on his ability to put on other people's clothes.
Well, we lost the beard, first of all. We get there, no beard, spent the whole day. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon by the time we were finally ready to shoot. And I knew we only had about an hour. And so I said, just hop in the car, and it was me hopping in and out of this convertible. And sometimes I'd be in the convertible, and sometimes I'd be in the car that's following. And you know, sometimes you just kind of have to roll with what happens. And so I remember I was really excited the Bellagio with the fountains was coming up, and I wanted to get this really cool shot with the water behind them. And right as it's coming up, you know, Magic Mike bus comes up, and it's the Chippendales, and I'm just like, well, it looks like this is what we're gonna do. we're rolling with, and you know, you just kind of like have to embrace the moment, and sometimes it turns out better than you plan.
We all got to go downstairs and dress up in fun Christmas gear, and we turned on like a disco ball, smoke and lights. I felt just like Michael Scott when he created that secret club in his own office in the show.
I like to recruit my friends for very specific roles.
And he's taking it to the streets.
Wait. Give him the knuckles. Who's got the knuckles? They're over there.
Oh, that'll hurt real good.
And action.
Don't actually hit him, Matt.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going with this hand. You start with your right hand every other time. Okay. That could have been bad.
So when we went with Mr. Claus, there was obviously multiple scenarios we built in with Mr. Claus, and Ryan comes up with these foam crowbars and beer bottles that are made out of sugar water to look like they're glass, and busting people over the head and going through all of these things.
It's not just a cool video, it's not just a cool poster or a cool visual. It's everything down to wardrobe, makeup, writing, everything to give you the nostalgia of the time period. For instance, Mr. Claus was set back in the 60s and 70s, and we wanted that feel. So the color palette you can see are those yellows and oranges and browns.
Last year, we all got to be involved in making the videos. Normally, us designers are more behind the scenes.
I distinctly remember Clark talking about this, as we wanted to get everybody involved. If Santa had an agency, he's got to have project managers, he's got to have designers, he's got to have writers. And so we were going to be the stars.
How about 2% in biscuits?
Biscuits is good, but it's for an American audience.
Grateful for the Dairyland and Oreos.
Copyrighted.
Banging cow water discharge and brown sugar confections? So my line was banging cow water discharge, and I was just thinking, like, who writes this stuff, man?
Chestnut, is it?
Hi.
Oh yeah, the writer from Red Ryder, who doesn't do anything, which is pretty much my job. I don't do anything, or as little as possible.
He's crushing candy canes with a nutcracker and snorting them with the French horn.
Abby and Ashley were working on a computer, and and Abby was wanting some corrections or changes to a design.
Okay, so I just don't want it to look like reindeer droppings.
Give me the mouse.
Okay, no.
Making the logo smaller and everybody getting into that and making that change. It was just so funny because in a way it's realistic.
I think that they really were some bruises from that afterwards. It was pretty funny.
I thought Clark was going to fall off that roof though when he was throwing that bike. I knew we only had one take because Abby taken so long wrapping that thing.
We had to have the scene where Santa was throwing a bike off of the roof, and we didn't have any roofs with chimneys, and then I realized my apartment actually did, so I had to prep all my roommates, say, we're coming over, we're shooting on our roof, and Santa's gonna throw this bike off the roof, which by the way took me only, you know, like all day to wrap around the wheels, around the seat. It was quite the ordeal to wrap this bike just for it to be thrown off a roof.
Ho, ho, ho! Hey Siri, text Tinsel, tell her I need to set her roller skates to Tyler's right away.
Actually, this started before our youngest child was even born. And so she has known her dad as dad, and all the different personalities of Santa meshed together, because it's not really Santa and it's not really Clark. It's a combination to bring out this fun personality, and it's a great ride to be with Red Ryder, because over the years we've had incredible employees and an incredible team, and it's been so fun to watch, even from our youngest child, to be a part of these Santa parties, in this bash, in this celebration. Sorry, you're gonna have to cut all this. But the Red Ryder team has just had so much talent and created a very unique opportunity for so many people, in my opinion, to come together.
At the end of the day, business and life and everything is about relationships, and that's what sticks out to me most about our interaction as a partner and friends with Red Ryder, is that relationships are huge to them. It's about the people.
It was all just impressive to me, but just how loving and generous and kind and accepting, and they had all these people.
And frankly, that's what the holidays need to be about. That's what this Christmas party is all about for us, is just bringing people together, having a good time, being able to enjoy one another's company. And the sky's the limit. It's literally being able to get the time to do the things that we want to do. And we've had such a fun time doing this over the years.
Nice to make your first acquaintance, Robert. It's a good thing you're getting a good exposure to what your son's exposed to every day.
Put your leg up.
There you go. You can scoot to the right just like a ditch.
Thanks, Abby.
Well, there's the
Now turn
mountains and the
sideways.
sunset.
Turn sideways and just peer out that way.